What if I told you that over 50 investors handed over their hard-earned savings and together lost more than $93 million in what became one of Florida's biggest real estate scams? It sounds like a Netflix documentary, but really it's not. It's happening right here, right now in Florida. And the scariest part, the exact same red flags that doomed those investors are still out there today waiting for their next victim. I'm Gino Santosa, certified Florida realtor, and I made this video for one reason only: to pull back the curtain on scams that most realtors won't even mention. My job isn't just to help you buy or sell a home, it's to protect you from making the kind of mistake that could cost you everything. So on this program, this is what we're going to cover today: how the $93 million fraud was pulled off step by step, the 5 major red flags that buyers and investors need to watch out for, and how to protect yourself so you never end up as the next headline. But before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss a Florida real estate breakdown again. And if you're serious about moving here, scan that QR code to set up a call with me directly. I'm Gino Santosa, your friendly realtor here in South Florida. All right, let's dive into the program. The $93 million scam story. A couple of weeks ago, I was in my office sipping coffee when the headline broke: Miami developer and CFO charged in a $93 million real estate fraud deal. Here's what went down. Over 50 investors were told they'd be backing hot Florida projects, condos, developments, properties that would deliver guaranteed double-digit returns. But behind the glossy pitch decks and polished presentations, it was all smoke and mirrors. The developer and his CFO didn't build those projects. Instead, they shuffled more than $60 million across a maze of shell companies, and on paper, it looked legit. In reality, millions were siphoned off for personal luxuries. Think cars, vacations, and private expenses. At first glance, I thought, okay, here's another shady business deal in Miami. Happens all the time. But as I dug deeper, I realized this was different. The scale was massive, the money was gone, and the victims weren't just faceless investors. They were regular people like you and I chasing the Florida dream. Eventually, the SEC stepped in, froze accounts, and scrambled to recover those funds. And some investors clawed back a fraction of what they lost, but the damage was already done. Stress, lawsuits, broken trust, the cost went way beyond money. And this is where it all hit me. Florida's market is booming. That makes it a magnet, not just for buyers, but for scammers. So let's break down the 5 red flags that could have saved these investors and can absolutely save you in the future. But before we get into the red flags, scan that QR code with your phone if you want a copy of my South Florida Black Book, which includes all the top areas to invest in here in South Florida. Now back to the program. Red flag number 1, it's too good to be true. If someone promises you 12-15% of guaranteed returns, I'd suggest you run. Real estate can be profitable, but it's never risk-free. When something sounds easy, fast, and guaranteed, it's usually a trap. Think about The Wolf of Wall Street. Leonardo DiCaprio's character sold penny stocks by promising massive returns. Tons of people believed them because it sounded so simple, but the truth? They were buying a dream, not reality. In Florida real estate, the same rule applies. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Red flag number 2. Overly complicated structures. Most people think scams look obvious, like a shady guy in a cheap suit saying, "Hey, give me your money." But the big scammers, they're polished, smart, and sneaky. In the $93 million case, the developer didn't just steal the money outright. He created a maze of LLCs and shell companies. Funds were moved around so many times on paper, it looked sophisticated. Investors thought their money was tied to legitimate projects when really it was being drained behind the scenes. Now here's the takeaway. If a contract involves 5 or 6 company names and you can't even tell who really owns the project, that's not sophistication, that's a cover-up. Simple structures are safer structures. Red flag number 3, hidden conflicts of interest. Have you ever worked with someone only to find out later they were benefiting in ways they never disclosed? This is exactly what happened here. The developer and CFO didn't just run projects. They had personal stakes and shuffled money to cover themselves. No transparency, no disclosure. In real estate, if someone hides lawsuits, financial ties, or past bankruptcies, that's not a small detail, that's a strategy. Transparency isn't optional. If someone dodges questions about their role or ownership, that's your cue to walk away. Another important point is that you should ask for the developer's background. Have they ever developed before? Very important. Red flag number 4, high pressure sales tactics. In this case in particular, investors were told, send money now or you lose the deal. That false urgency forced people to skip due diligence. They wired funds immediately thinking they'd miss out otherwise. And here's the truth. The minute you feel pressure to sign or wire money on the spot, you're not making a decision. You're being manipulated. A legitimate deal will still be there tomorrow, so no need to rush. Red flag number 5, vague or missing details. This one's boring on the surface, but it's deadly in scams. In this case, some investors signed contracts where property details weren't even fully listed. Others asked for financial records and got a vague PDF, incomplete numbers, or endless excuses. If something feels missing, trust your gut, push back, demand details, and if they won't hand them over, that's your answer to walk away. How do you stay safe? Here are the 5 golden rules. Number 1, do your homework. A 5-minute Google search can save you a lifetime of regret. Number 2, work with trusted professionals, realtors like myself, attorneys, and inspectors. They're not costs, they're your safety net. Number 3, get everything in writing. If it's not on paper, it doesn't exist. Ask questions. Scammers always dodge, and legitimate sellers always answer. Number 5, use escrow and verified lenders. Never hand over large sums casually. Keep money protected until all conditions are met. All of these points is exactly how I guide my clients step by step so they can focus on finding the right home instead of worrying about hidden costs. If you want to set up a one-on-one meeting with me, please go to the description box below and look at my calendar link. Set up an appointment and let's talk. So there you have it. Florida's real estate market is booming, but the $93 million fraud case proves that if you chase fast returns or ignore red flags, you could lose everything. The people who win in Florida aren't the ones chasing shortcuts here. They're the ones who stay informed, patient, and protected. If you're thinking about relocating, selling, or investing here in Florida, let's connect. Scan the QR code and I'll help you find the right home safely and stress-free. Because in Florida, real estate knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. I'm Gino Santosa, your Florida real estate agent, 561-871-1889, and click on the next episode to keep the ball rolling. Thanks for watching, and your dream home is just one call away.